Hello, what's up everybody, welcome to a brand new Division build. Now in this build I'm going to bring you my Skills MC Gloves build, and I'm just going to show you me killing Bullet King right now just to show you how effective that this build can be. It is tailored towards close range kills. It's more tailored towards PvP, but I can fancy starting up a video in PvP and then having to run around trying to look for somebody until I've actually found them. But as you see there, the damage output from this build is absolutely insane. That's obviously utilizing the Skills MC gloves and high toughness. As you see there, I can comfortably operate within my third segment, second segment, whatever, just because I have a very high health pool and I'm not even at the armor cap, so there's even more potential to this build. I know here's not probably the best place to do this, but let's just go over my build. The build's obviously utilizing the Skills MC gloves. As you see here, I got one that's got pretty decent roll. It's got decent firearms, decent armor, it had damage to elites, critical hit damage, and it had shotgun damage, and I had a reroll for assault rifle damage, and god, that set me back about 12 million before I eventually got a decent assault rifle damage roll, and even then it's not even that high for an assault rifle damage roll, but it's going to cost me something in the range of like 20 million to roll these gloves again, and I just don't fancy that. Hence why I'm actually going around killing all the world bosses. I actually want another pair of these so I can get maybe a better roll. Now for my backpack, I'm also using specialized. If you were sensible and, well, if you have half a brain, you probably looked at my skill power and was like, oh yeah, he's running specialized. I was lucky enough to get one that's got near enough a god roll. The only thing I could do with more is a slightly better firearms roll, and I'll just show you my mods here. I've got firearms with armor, self heal, and a crit chance. What are these? Okay, I must have just picked them up now. That's what I've been focusing on. I've got another self heal one in my holster, and I've got a crit hit chance one in my knee pads, and obviously all the other mods are just 2 stamina with armor, and the rest are firearms with armor. Just going to say that now to, well, for the sake of a shorter video. For my holster, I'm using something that is actually a lot more advantageous to use than you would think originally. Is Nimble. You heal 2% of your max health every meter covered in cover to cover. I was also lucky enough to get a near enough god roll in the way of stats, so I was really happy with that. Just rerolled the armor, and that was that. And holy shit, I'm getting shot already. I knew this was probably a bad place, but hey, let's just kill these guys and continue with the video inside the safe zone. That would probably be a good idea, right? And I know this video might be a little bit here, there, whatever, but I'm a little bit ill and I just want to get this out quickly because I'm actually going out. It's a Saturday night and, well, I'm 20, so, well, you can connect the dots if you're old enough. You can probably figure out what I'm waiting to do. And, yeah, obviously being ill, I want to get this done whilst I still can because, well, my throat is completely screwed up. You can probably tell that in the video because my voice is super deep and it's a little bit quieter than it usually is, but hey ho, let's carry on with the video. For my knee pads, I'm using Accomplished. This is only because I don't have a good roll on my Shortbow Championship pads. If you have a better roll with enemy armor damage, definitely go for these because they are awesome knee pads to use in PvP. You can absolutely lay out people really easily because they can't, well, try dodging a grenade that basically instantly goes off and tell me how it goes. But Accomplished is also good. It's good for PvE runs. I mean, with this specific, just this knee pads, as long as I'm running a build with these knee pads, I will get a sealed cache each time I run Lexington, which is obviously a good thing. I mean, it's an extra chance to get that chest piece that is avoiding me for some reason, or the holster that is also avoiding me, but I haven't really grinded for the holster, whereas for the chest piece I've ran Lexington too many times, let's just say that. But as you see here, I got a good roll of armor, good roll of stamina, increased kill XP, enemy armor damage that can go a little bit higher, but hey ho, and shock resistance. Shock resistance is handy in PvP because, well, shock turrets, and if you've ever been in the dark zone for longer than a couple of hours, you can probably realize that there's always going to be somebody with a shock turret, so that's handy there. For my mask, I'm running the refreshed mask. This will improve your healing by 30% when you're in that last health segment. This just further reinforces my booster shot, which I actually run instead of overheal, but even if you are running overheal, this will give you a full overheal each time you get that into that third segment. Obviously that is pairing it with specialized, so definitely wear this mask because it is really useful in PvP, but there is a risk to it. You have to be in that third segment, and well, sometimes with the heal delays and stuff on Xbox, well, you just die. Another thing you can use if you don't want to use the refreshed is Pharaoh's Oxygen Mask. I was lucky enough to get one of these as well, and it's got a okay roll. It doesn't have enemy armor damage, which is another reason why I'm not using it, but it does have crit hit chance, which would benefit this build even more. But hey ho, I'm running with refreshed because, well, it's just what this build's tailored to, and is working so far, so I don't want to screw with something that's already working. For my chest piece, I'm actually using a lesser used chest piece, and that is Forceful. Forceful increases your armor by 15% when the signature skill is active, and me having quite a lot of armor on this, I have 53.17 or something along that lines on mitigation. I'll show you that in a second. Improving that by 15% is obviously giving me around 60, 66, 67, or something along that lines of mitigation. I think it might even hit the cap. I'm not too sure, but it pops my toughness up to around 600k. I think it's 558. When I pop my tactical, or my DPS sig, whatever you want to call it, I actually don't know the name of it because, well, I just call it my sig and that's it. But giving you increased toughness as well as a huge increase in your DPS is always going to be a good thing. I mean, even if the enemy pops his as well, I mean, you're going to shred through him faster than he's going to shred through you, and, well, that's a benefit, right? And it's really handy in 1v2s, 1v3s, which, well, as a solo player, I run into a lot in the DZ. For my weapons, excuse me, sorry about that. For my weapons, I'm using a FAMAS and an MP7. These are just the best burst weapons with this build. Usually, if you're not using the Skills MC gloves, the M4 would have better burst potential than the FAMAS, but the FAMAS actually has slightly better burst potential, in my opinion, than the M4 with this build, because it applies the 16% extra damage, then it applies the 15% on top of that final number. So that's a increase in 31%, is actually slightly higher than that, but 31% increase in weapon damage is an insane amount for your FAMAS, and you will absolutely tear through people, especially with a role like mine where you've got vicious, responsive, and obviously uncomplicated. I've also modded my weapon for crit hit chance and crit hit damage. A lot of people in my comments have been saying that I shouldn't really be going for headshot damage for PvP, so I've tried this out, and you guys were right off. Crit hit chance and crit hit damage is a lot more useful in PvP because, well, I don't know about you guys, but personally I hit a lot more body shots than I'd like, but with my crit hit chance and crit hit damage, I still tear through them. It's absolute awesome, and I love it. Obviously, having a crit hit chance and crit hit damage build would not make sense if you're not running SMG as well as whatever else you want. So I'm running an MP7, obviously the best burst damage, and I just pushed B by accident. Oh well. I've got near enough max damage roll you can get, near enough max crit hit damage roll you can get, and a very good roll. Personally, I'd like to get self-preserve replaced with brutal or deadly, something along that lines, because it would help me more. I don't really need the healing, as you've seen in that small clip at the start. I have a lot of toughness and I'm very durable. So the constant 3% that I get from this build, whereas it's useful, it's not needed. But it does give you a upper hand of some sort. But I'd personally, just my playstyle, I'd rather have a damage talent because, well, damage, I like it. And this is also modded for crit hit chance, crit hit damage. I'm just going to quickly go over them. I don't want to go into detail just for the sake of keeping this video short. It's already over 10 minutes, I mean, Jesus, and that's me trying to rush it. My character, let's go. As you see there, 26.5, that's that has the 19.3 on top of that, so that's around 35, 45% crit hit chance. That's just under half your bullets are doing 106% more damage, which is, well, that's always a good thing, right? And even then, you'll be doing 62% more damage to the head. I mean, hell, I've been pretty lucky with my mods, let's just say that. And there, that's the Skulls MC bonus. If I was using my FAMAS, it would say 31%. Let's just go over to my enemy armor damage. 32.5, that's with an SMG. That's 10% more damage you're doing to people, always a good thing. And obviously with my FAMAS, that's even higher. I've got 22% on there, so it's 54% enemy armor damage, which is insane. Very good for NPCs, as you've seen in this clip at the start. For my max health, I've got 193,000, which is more than enough. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of health, and especially pairing with the fact that I have 53.17, and I was right, percent weapon damage mitigation, which is it's average right now. It's what most people are in the ballpark of. I know you can get to 55%, and I'd like to min-max this build even a little bit more, because personally this is my favorite build right now, and it even tops the Alpha Bridge build because it's a lot more unique. It has a lot more utility to it, especially with the nimble holster. You can just do cover to cover movements, and pairing with tactical advance, that's so good in PvP. I mean, yeah. Let's just go over my skills and stuff, skills and talents. I'm using Tactical Scanner. The reason I use this over Scrambler is because I get extra damage to pulse targets, and I know Scrambler can cleanse your pulse, but with this I just find, on the chance that they're not using Scrambler, which is a lot more common, which is not actually that common, should I say. Scrambler is not that widely used right now. A lot of people are still running with their Tactical Scanner because they can't get out of that habit. So I've just opted to run with that because extra damage, and well, that's what I'm going for right now. Booster shot, obviously, for the extra damage, extra survivability. That's always a good thing. And obviously my DPS ult. And at the end, I'll just run out there, pop on my skills at my tactical link, and I'll show you how high you can actually get this build. It is absolutely insane. For my talents, I'm using Critical Save. If you're not using this, then why aren't you? Use this, regardless of what build you're using. Tactical Advance, this just pairs really nice with Nimble. Even though it is only for 5 seconds, that extra damage will do wonders when you are, say, an off chance that you want to go rogue and you're at an extraction. Quickly cover to cover, boom, shoot them. They'll melt. They'll hit the floor quicker than they would be able to process you shooting them. Steady hands, this just helps with me using the FAMAS and the MP7. Both have a little bit of a kick, and obviously since I'm on console, it's a little bit harder to control, so doing my cover to covers will also give me 25% reduced recoil for 10 seconds, which is always a good thing. And on the move, since I'm in their face, close quarters, on the move's obviously a must have right for me, and it works really well with my high toughness, so that's why I'm using that. Now, let's just show you my stats, the stat potential of this build. A lot of people got angry at me saying, oh, you're misleading people with your titles and all that kind of stuff, and partly, yes, because clickbait, and I'm a small channel, I kind of need that shit. And another one, because I'm showing the potential of builds, not the live performance of builds. Just want to get that one out there. So if I pulse, booster shot, and then pop my tactical, go into here, as you see there, that's an insane amount of DPS and toughness. I think my DPS actually goes higher. I think Uncomplicated isn't actually working right now. Oh, it is. There you go. 704 and 568k toughness, which is an insane amount. You come across me in the DZ when I have that active, you're probably gonna die. Nothing against you, but Jesus, with that stats, a bloody 2-year-old could win any fight. But regardless, I'm going to end the video there. It's 15 minutes, which is actually longer than a normal video, and this one wasn't exactly the most structured or thought out video. I just thought, I have a build ready. I'm actually well enough to speak, and yesterday I wasn't, so I'm going to get this video out quickly, and I'm going to show a little bit of gameplay at the start, because why not? So if you guys have enjoyed this build, I hope you guys try it out, and also leave me a like. I mean, it's cool. I mean, this is a cool build, right? You should like it, right? And also subscribe for more. I've got more builds and other kind of videos on the way. And yeah, I don't just play the Division, by the way. I'm kind of addicted to it right now. If you go further back on my channel, you'll see that I'm more of a variety kind of guy, but I tend to focus on one game at a time, and right now that's the Division until it well, loses my interest, which isn't anytime soon for the time being. So if you're into the Division like me, definitely stick around. You'll see plenty of videos and helpful stuff coming out. So apart from that, that's all from me today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.